Hello all, welcome to the next video of Python. In the last video, we learned about variable initialization and dynamic typing. Also, we learned about the comments, how to write different type of comments, etc. So in this video, we'll be learning how to write small programs. For example, how to swap two numbers and how to convert from one data type to another data type. Also, we'll learn some escape sequences and arithmetic operators. So this is a program to swap two numbers. So what is being done is we are taking a variable x from the user. That is, we are taking one value from the user and assigning to the variable x. Similarly, we are getting another input from the user y and putting it in y. And in this line, what we are doing is we are interchanging the value of x and y. The current value of y is assigned to new x and the current value of x is assigned to new y. So this x and y corresponds to the new values and these are the old values. So when we print x and y here in these two lines, what we get are the new values or the interchange values. For example, here if I am giving a value of 10 for x and y I am giving for 20, so what happens here is x will be assigned 20 with this statement and y will be assigned to 10. So x will be assigned 20 and y will be assigned 10 with this line, this single line. So the values are being swapped and it will print the interchanged values. We'll see the demonstration. So we are going to a notebook and here you can see the program for that. And I've already executed it and we have the output here. You can see that it is before the execution, the value here that we have got is 10 and 20. That is before execute or before swapping, we got the value as 10 and 20, and after swapping we have got the value 20 and 10. See, what I've done is I've just printed the value of x and y before swapping. So this line is actually swapping. The swapping is done in this highlighted line. Before that, I just printed the values of x and y, and after swapping also I just printed the values. So such that we can find the difference, what difference that has happened before swapping and after swapping. So going back to our presentation. So next is implicit data type conversions. That is, when two variables are used or when two values are used of different data types, and in some program line we are writing two or we are doing some operations on two different datas, some implicit conversions or some automatic conversions of the data type is done by the Python interpreter itself. So that type of data type conversion is known as implicit data type conversion. For example, here you can see that 5 plus 2.5, you know that 5 is an integer value and 2.5 is a float value. So the resultant value will be a float value, and when you print x, you will be getting the answer as 7.5. Which means that clearly means that 5, which is an integer value, is converted to float value, which is 5.0. So 5.0 is added with 2.55, which is again a float value, and stored in x. So x now is a float value. So this is an implicit conversion that Python interpreter is doing. So usually the expression containing different kind of numbers are implicitly converted as, for example, if it is an integer value, it will be, and there is a float value, it will be converted to float value. And if there is a float value and a complex number, it will be automatically converted to a complex number. And if there is an integer value and a complex number, again it will be converted to a complex number. So this is how it goes. Now coming to the explicit data conversions, if you want, implicit is done by the Python interpreter itself, but if the programmer wants to make one data type to another data type, we can use some functions known as int function, float function and str function, such that I can convert it into the desired data type by the user itself. For example, in this line of execution, on this line where we are taking some input from the user, default value or default value that is entered by the user will be converted to a string. But what I am entering, I need to convert it into an integer value. What will I do? I will use a int function here. So whatever inside the bracket of that integer value will be converted forcefully into an integer value. Okay, whatever inside the function of inside the bracket of that function will be converted to integer value. But if I am writing float, what will happen? In this place of int, if I am writing float, it will be explicitly converted to a float value. Okay, default value is actually string, which means that if I am taking any input from the user, it is actually defaultly it is taken as string value. So the above expression, the input is always a string. In order to accept it as int, you have to give the function integer. This is the case with any other functions also. That is, if you want to convert to float, you have to use float. Now we'll have a example also, demo of the same thing. We'll see. See, here you can see that when you print the value, we are using the user input as using the input function. This input function will read a single line and store it in a variable name. Here you can see variable is being taken. Using the input function, we take the value and it is assigned to the function name, variable name. So here one more thing is there, if you want to accept a user input, you have to use a function input, and whatever we are getting through the input function is defaultly stored as a string. So this will be a string now. So whatever I am inputting using the input function is a string, and that string will be assigned to the variable which is on the left side. So if you want the user to write something, or if you want the user to write something what the programmer needs, you can give an display the prompt inside the input function. So it will ask you, this is how the output will come, that is, it will ask you, prompt you for the input, and whatever you are giving as input is considered as a string, and that will be stored in the name. So I told you that if you want to convert it into numerical value, you want to convert it into an integer or a float, you have to use a function int and float. So going back to the PowerPoint presentation, there are some characters known as escape sequences. These escape sequences are simply characters. These are known as escape characters in Python, because this character plus a few characters are treated as a single character which is having some special meaning. They are having some special meanings. Double slash prints a single backslash. This prints a single quote. This prints a double quote. This prints a new line character. New line character means it prints the value in the next line. This give you a horizontal tab instead of printing a T there. So escape sequence is interpreted even when it is present within a string. So this is about the escape sequences. These are used along with the print statements. So this is an example of this print separator and end character. That is, default when you print something, the output will be coming in a new line if you are using a new print statement. See, for example, in this first print statement, In the first print statement, I have used print A, B, C, D, E, F and G, H, I. So these three comes in the same line. But when I am using a new print statement, what happens is that the next whatever comes inside this one comes in a new line, that is JK comes in the new line, and default the end will be, or default separator will be a space, such that you can see here that between every string inside the print we have a separator space. But if I want the separators as comma, I have to specify it as separator is equal to what string you need. So here I am using a comma for separating it, and I am already specified here that I need the end as dot. So you can see that the dot is given at the end of this print statement. Since the end is given as dot, the next print statement starts from the next position. You can see that this print start printing from the next character space after the previous print statement, and since there is a new line here, from here onwards it comes from the next line. New line always gives you the facility to start from a next line. So here also they have told that separator has been given as exclamation mark, and the end is marked as hash. That's why hash comes. Otherwise, hash is actually a character at the last. So we'll continue in the next video.